Hi guys, my name is Travis Harriman and I'm an Access Project Officer here at Flinders University. And today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about various pathways to Flinders University. I want to highlight that there's so many various different pathways to Flinders. It's one of the great strengths of our university. And if you do want to come and study with us at Flinders, you might want to consider one of these options as it could increase your chances of getting in with us. So to get started, I'm going to talk to you about our enabling pathways, and these are ways that you can accommodate university based on your personal circumstances and maybe trying to access uni if it's something you really want to do. The first one here is our military academic pathway program. Now the MAP is a program for those who have been in defence or maybe are still in defence and they're looking for a change or looking to go and get some qualifications so they can maybe move back into civilian life. It's a 4-week online intensive program which covers a range of different academic skills to help you bridge that gap as you come and study at university. But we also offer a huge range of support services and advocacy so that you can feel comfortable when you move across to university in a big change from the military. This pathway can allow you into over 29 different courses for next year. Some examples here could be criminology, you may want to do sport, health and physical activity, social work is a good one, or health sciences. Have a look on the website and then you can see everything that's available. But it's a fantastic pathway with a short intensive that can get you into uni with us. The next one we have here is our Elite Athlete Submission. Now the Elite Athlete Submission is a program here that really allows you to keep your sport at the forefront whilst you're studying at university. And it's amazing because your sport doesn't have to take the back seat. This allows you to get some advice, get some guidance, and have advocacy here at the university and a more flexible program so that maybe your exams can be sat at different times and that your classes and your academics can be more accommodating so that you can pursue sport as well as studies at Flinders University. There's a whole heap of other things that are associated with this program. There's scholarships, there's special access to the gym. So it's a really good one to look at if you're an elite sports player at a national level, or maybe if you're playing at a state level as well, we can accept people too. Next we have our Indigenous Access Scheme for our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders people. Now it involves a written application, then you need to attend an interview, and finally you apply via SATAC. But it's a great one if you are considering study and you haven't studied at university before. And it can give you a lot of support through our Yungarendi team here with us when you are at Flinders. So again, check this one out on the website if it's right for you. So now I'm going to talk about some of the more broader adult entry pathways that you can use to get into Flinders. Now here we have the Special Tertiary Admissions Test. And it is a multiple choice test where you do over 2 hours, 70 different questions. And it really susses out how you think and how you work. And it's not your traditional academics, it's more about how you solve problems. And we can take your results in that test to then give you access into university. But it's really important to note that you must be over 18 by the 1st of February 2021 if you are going to use the STAT test for entry for next year. Now this is a great one if school didn't go so well for you, or if you've been out in the workforce for a long period of time and you want to come back and you want to study, sit the STAT test and it can get you right in. At the moment it's all being sat online. You can go and do some preparation. They have preparation courses. You have to pay for that test to get in through this way, and there are some free ways to come in which I'll talk about as well. Now here I want to talk about TAFE Link. TAFE Link is where we can acknowledge all your hard work previously completing studies in TAFE and then crediting that across to university. So we acknowledge that there's a lot of wealth of learning that you have as an adult through what you've done in the past, and we like to bring that across with you. And we can use TAFE as your entry point with us here at Flinders. Depending on your level of qualifications, that sort of varies the amount of courses that you can get into. The higher your qualification, the more courses you can get into. So for example, if you wanted to do medical science, you'd have to have done an advanced diploma. But we can take you in from a Cert 4, and depending on what you're wanting to study, you can go through competitive entry in this process as well. To give you an example here, somebody who maybe wants to study our Bachelor of Business or Tourism and Events maybe has done some study at TAFE previously, and they could use their Diploma of Event Management to get across into our business course or our tourism course, and that will give you guaranteed entry. We can offer block credit or specific credit as ways to get into uni as well, and to get credit for what you've already done, because you've already put the hard work in, and we'll transfer that knowledge across and build on it when you're here with us at Flinders. Now I want to talk about dual offers. Now some of you may have done some study at TAFE, or maybe you're returning to study and you want to wet your teeth at TAFE for starters, or through a vet pathway, and you think you're going to do some stuff that's really hands-on. We have some brilliant pathways that we run in partnership with TAFE, where you begin there and then you come and join us at Flinders afterwards, and we marry them really well, so you get a lot of the hands-on practical learning at TAFE, and then we build on that with the academics and the core knowledge at the end, so that you can be really well skilled for the workforce. Now I really want to hone in on the Foundation Studies program. I did mention before that the stat test costs a little bit of money. I'm a strong believer in our Foundation Studies program because this one's actually free. And if you haven't studied for some time, it's a great way to come to university and build up the foundation building blocks to be really successful and kickstart your studies and really plough through an undergraduate degree. It is a 3-month course or 7 months, depending on where you study it. We offer it all around the state. And if you are an Australian citizen, or you have permanent residency, you can apply for this course directly with us through our website. It can allow you to get into over 14 different courses at uni just by passing. Now that's guaranteed entry. If you do really well and you apply yourself, you have to attend 75% of your classes. You can then go on and you can get into a range of different degrees. So things like nursing, education, health sciences are all available too. It's just based on how you do in the course. Now, one thing to note for any students out there that may be a little bit younger, you can't do the Foundation Studies course in the same year as your Year 12, so it has to be afterwards. But it's a really good one for those who maybe are looking at returning to study after a bit of a break. It's a direct application from our website. You don't do it through SATAC, so it means it's totally free. You don't have to pay an application fee. You'll become a student with us after this. And it builds on the foundation skills to be successful, introducing you to uni, building on your academic literacy and numeracy, and then giving you a bit of a taste of what we have on offer. Okay, now I want to talk about tertiary transfer. Tertiary transfer is something I actually use myself to move around within different universities and here at Flinders. And it's just a really important one to know about because you can move between courses quite easily. Now, with tertiary transfer, it takes into account your GPA. Some of you may be familiar with ATAR or different scores when you were at school. When you come to uni, you build a score that's called a GPA, and that's your grade point average. And that's made up of all the topics that you do. Building up this score can allow you to move around in different courses. Now, some people out there may be considering a course like optometry or physiotherapy, and it's quite competitive. It has a high score to get into in the stat test and also from foundation. And what you could do is you could come and start a course with us in health sciences and then use those grades to transfer across into one of the more competitive courses. If maybe you've studied elsewhere and you weren't enjoying what you were studying, or you're looking for a change, this is a great way that you can move across and study what you're really passionate about with us here at Flinders as well. The grades that you achieve through your previous studies will open up more doors. So as long as you're applying yourself, there's plenty of options here. Another way that you can move around within university is to use our pathway courses. Now, if you're not sure what you want to do, but maybe, for example, you really wanted to be a psychologist, you could pathway through our Bachelor of Arts Psychological Science, then go into Psych Science, and then into Honours. And every time you make that shift, hopefully you're going to get some credit between courses. And this is the great thing about these pathway courses, because they give you direct credit into the course that you really want to go into. And it allows you to get that footstep in where maybe you didn't quite meet the mark for competitive entry. A great example here, education. You do that first year in the pathway course, and then you move across into second year with all the other education students. Nobody has to know that you went through the pathway course. It's just your slow, sort of easy way getting into the course, where you're not trying to compete so hard, you're not putting your pressure on yourself to get that really high score, you're working your way in. It's a great way to start. That's all I have for you today, guys. Please follow up with us. We'd love to talk to you, and we can give a lot more specific information about these courses, and we can't wait to see you soon.